What's up, everybody? It's your boy Flash from ALWT Gaming, aka Malachi36. I am here with It's the 9 Ball, the one and only corner pocket. Get the chalk. What's up, man? How you doing?
Okay, I can breathe again. All right.
Were you holding your breath the whole time?
You told us to stop talking.
You can breathe. You can still breathe.
That's making noise.
Goodness.
But I'm we're doing good. We're doing good, though. Besides that, we're doing good today.
That's what's
We're
up.
cleaning up and catching up on some games and just relaxing.
Relaxing to the max, and just like my boy, Mildewy Carrot, a.k.a. the environmental artist, a.k.a. it is his season, a.k.a. harvest time, baby. Let's go.
The fuck have you been drinking?
Actually, you said drinking, and I'm drinking. I'm actually drinking not a Raise Energy, which you guys can go to Rep Sports, reppsports.com, type in ALWT Gaming at checkout, and get 50% off. That is not a drill. That is real life. All right, y'all can really do that. But I'm not having that right now. Right now, I got Polar Blast for my son's birthday party about 2 weeks ago. So quite delish. Quite delish.
Mm-hmm. Make sure he didn't have any of that, because it sounds like someone put a little extra in there.
How are you, Mildewy? How are you, man?
I'm blown away by your Arctic Blast. You were just blowing in my face there with that announcement. Like, good lord. I'm like frozen over here, like, what?
Yeah, I gotta stay on top of it, man. You know what I mean? I gotta give you guys the goods. If you guys don't have a full cam, what you guys got? What do you guys got? You know what I mean?
A quiet evening.
Happy Halloween month.
I'm doing good.
Good. That's what I like to hear. Happy Halloween month to all of our audio listeners. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. And for our video watchers, this is ALWT Things Gaming episode 52. And yes, if you guys see a white screen on my face, it's because I had to look it up on Anchor just to make sure I'm on the correct episode. And again, that is it's 53. Did I say 52? I'm at 53. But yeah. And I know I mentioned this before previously, but I want to mention it again. Thank you for everyone that's been listening. United States, we have a 96% geographic location when people are listening in. Germany, we have 2%. Ireland, 1%. Aren't you Ireland? From Ireland there, Mildewy?
No.
Not Ireland. Where is it? Italy.
No. Wow. I was born in Würzburg, Germany.
Germany. That's right there. That's
it's
2%.
considered American soil, but I still believe I have a bit of the heart that they influenced it with.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That the 2%. They come in clutch for you. Yeah, we got the 1% Ireland, 1% Singapore, 1% United Kingdom, UK, which we're going to talk about you guys in a minute, and 1% in Brazil. Thank you very much again for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. And guys, this is October 5th, 2021. I didn't think we were going to have a whole lot of news to talk about, but then after I looked at the document and after getting all the news, realized that we had to cut some stuff out. I mean, it's just going.
Best place to listen for everyone.
But yeah, I was about to say, we got some big Nintendo news today, and that's what we're going to kind of start off with. All right, so right here, we got Sora from Kingdom Hearts is finally in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Everyone, round of applause, please. No? Okay. Well, we're going to talk about it.
It's a golf clap. I didn't want to disturb the players.
Well, I guess I'm more or less that was for 9 Ball who was super delayed in the clap. Jason Finelli from GameSpot had wrote this article up here on this. There you go. Jason Finelli from GameSpot had wrote it on this article about it. This is a two-parter right here because it's Jason Finelli. This is a Jason and Eddie show today, by the way. A lot of this documents from them. So the final DLC character for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has been unveiled as game director Masahiro Sakurai announced Sora from Kingdom Hearts as the last addition to the roster. The 40-minute presentation was dedicated to the Kingdom Hearts hero, showing off his moves, stage, musical selection, and more. Sakurai revealed that Sora is the most requested Super Smash Bros. Character ever, including when the Nintendo ran the Super Smash Bros. Character ballot in 2014. Sora's special moves include multiple magic spells, Faraga, Thundaga, Blizzaga, in a rotating fashion to be specific, as well as a Sonic Blade, Aerial Sweep, and Counterattack. His final smash is called Sealing the Keyhole. That's dirty. But it was... Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Wow.
Malachi!
I can't be mad at him. Who made that name?
I don't know.
Sealing the keyhole?
Yeah,
Like,
Sealing the Keyhole.
I mean, everybody probably behind him started laughing when he presented it. Like, guys, is there something I'm missing?
Yeah.
And they're obviously like, yeah, there is, but we're going to let you keep going because we know you're thinking from the perspective of a child.
Great.
But anyway,
Great.
yeah, it's called Sealing the Keyhole, but it was not shown during the presentation. Sora's stage...
I bet not.
Sora's stage is Hollow Bastion, the final world in the original Kingdom Hearts. The stage floats around the entire structure before shifting to dive into the heart, which features stained glass style graphics featuring a number of Kingdom Hearts heroes. 9 songs from the Kingdom Hearts series will feature in their original arrangements, including Shezero, Dinato, and Hand in Hand. If you have a save file for Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory on your Switch, a Switch arrangement of Dearly Beloved will also be included. So there you go. The part 2 of this is Eddie Mackett, also from GameSpot. In addition to bringing Sora to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Nintendo and Square Enix are teaming up to launch 3 Kingdom Hearts games to Nintendo Switch. Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 and 2.5 Remix, Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, and Kingdom Hearts 3 are all headed to Nintendo Switch. These will be cloud games, so they will stream to Switch. As such, you will need a constant internet connection to play them. Nintendo Switch cloud streaming games offer free demos for the purpose of giving players the opportunity to test their internet bandwidth. Presumably, this will also be the case for the 3 Kingdom Hearts games. End story. So, a lot of good news all around. It is a weird choice, in my opinion, as to why Kingdom Hearts, the games, are just going to be a streaming option versus being able just to download them and have them on there. I doubt that they're too big because these are PS2 going into PS3/4 games. So I'm not exactly sure the entire reasoning behind that. But after hearing part 1 and part 2 of Sora, where are we at? What are your guys' thoughts? Talk to me, gentlemen.
I mean, I've already got them for PlayStation 4, which I can play on 5 if I remember correctly.
Yes.
The backwards compatibility thing still kind of gets me a little weird because I'm not used to that. Because normally you didn't have that in the past. They're like, backwards compatibility? Nah, just buy that new console. Anyways, in terms of it going to Switch, I mean, that's cool and all. Odd that they're putting just like on a stream base, not as an actual digital download. So not sure on their idea on that one of what that's about. Unless it's because they're afraid it's a bit too big and they won't have enough space, so they're just going to offer it as a stream base. But yeah, that's weird. In terms of Sora coming to Super Smash, awesome. Just practice your dodging when they come after you, man. That's all I gotta say, because they always jump on the new guy. So, but I mean, I don't really have Super Smash Bros, but cool.
There you go. Any comment there, Nineball?
I haven't really played much. I have not played much of Smash Brothers Ultimate. I used to play the other ones. I don't have a Switch, so I haven't played Smash Brothers Ultimate. I have not played much of Kingdom Hearts. But the only problem I'm having right now is why is it streaming only? Everybody knows the internet in the U.S. is shoddy at best, depending on where you are at in the area. Some places have got excellent internet. Some people have got real bad internet. And if your internet goes out, you're screwed.
What you didn't read is that small fine print that says Kingdom Hearts to be on streaming only. Subject to interest in terms of apply. Internet connections and feed abilities will not be responsible by Nintendo and LTCC services.
You nailed it. I mean, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
They don't care. I don't know what they're trying to test. New age stuff. Are you trying to go further into?
No, everybody knows Nintendo's 10 years behind. They just figured out streaming's a thing.
No, they just found out that Bluetooth was a thing. Don't give them credit.
Like, wait, I could tie a device wirelessly to this and still hear it.
I mean, you telling me I don't have to use a phone on the wall anymore? They got these little things called. I don't have to go find a payphone. I keep having my wife page me at work every day.
What do you mean?
So let me ask you guys this.
Email it to someone.
Let me ask you guys this. So I already know we already know that amongst the three of us, the biggest Kingdom Hearts fan is Mildewy Carrot. As he's played through all of them, knows the stories of all of them, if not 99% of them.
I played them originally when they first came out on PS2.
My question, and then a majority of you guys know my backstory, and I'll go ahead and repeat it on here with the Kingdom Hearts as far as the first one goes and why I stopped at the first one. I love the Kingdom Hearts. Don't get me wrong. I love Kingdom Hearts, but there's a particular reason, which again, for our audio listeners and viewers, I'll tell you guys exactly what that is in a minute. But before we get to me...
Is that because of sealing the keyhole?
Something like that.
No, when you was in that younger age, he was all about sealing that keyhole.
All day. I didn't know I could change the keyhole, you know what I mean?
You didn't know you could change the keyblade that you're putting into the keyhole. Yeah. Like, what do you mean I got different options?
But my question to you, Nineball, is I don't think I've ever asked you, where were you at with Kingdom Hearts? Did you beat the first one? Did you get far in it?
I played through a little bit of it, didn't get through much of it.
Was there a particular reason why you didn't? Was it just something that another game came up that you just fall off of it? Like what's your backstory?
Yeah, another game came up. I was trying to play, another game came up and it just got lost somewhere in the backlog somewhere. It's been stuck in oblivion ever since.
Gotcha. Okay. So for anyone that's listening right now or watching this for the first time, first and foremost, welcome, and thank you very much for tuning into ALWT Things Gaming with ALWT Gaming, which stands for At Least We Try Gaming. Again, my name is Cameron, aka Flash, aka Malachi36, and here is my backstory with the very first Kingdom Hearts. I jumped into Kingdom Hearts. Actually, I was a little late coming to Kingdom Hearts because the cover looked weird to me. Looked really weird because you have some Final Fantasy-esque looking characters here, but then you saw Goofy, then you saw Donald, and then you saw you just saw Goofy and Donald. They didn't have Mickey on there, but it was just Goofy and Donald, and it looked really bizarre. And because of that reason, I never came around to Kingdom Hearts for a good time. But then one day I was just decided to try it out, and I fell in love with the game. Absolutely loved it, adored it. Was playing through it, was doing really well. There's some fights that were kind of tough. Actually, I can't say kind of. They were really tough. Some of these fights were really tough. But I was able to pursue and keep going through. I think the one that I had the most trouble on, but I was able to get past, was when it was the Aladdin one with the lion, the sand lion.
The Cave of Wonders.
Yeah, now I think I cheesed that one because I ended up going on top of his head. And I kept on doing like an ability like over and over and like keep attacking the head or something like that. And
was that in 1 or 2?
1. Because remember, I didn't get to 2.
That's right. It was. I keep getting my stories mixed up. Yeah, that was in 1, and to be honest, that's the best way to do it. Is just get on top of his head and just cheese spam the eyes, because if not, you're gonna get hammered by all those people on the ground unless you're good with dodging.
Yeah,
it's the easiest.
And that was the thing.
Out of it.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like because I kept on trying. I tried so many times against that guy, and I was like, "What am I doing here?" And then I found a way to be able just to wreck him while I'm just on top of the head. And I was just like, I don't know if I'm supposed to do this, but it's working. I'm doing it. And it took me a while, but I finally beat him. Kept on going through. And I got to the end of the game, and I was collecting all these different things, which I thought were trophies, and I thought they're really cool. I thought it was weird that trophies had stats on them, but ultimately I was having a good time with the game, and I get to Riku, who was actually Ansem at the time. Spoiler alert, by the way. But anyway, I get to Riku, and I'm fighting him, and I just can't beat him. I just can't get past him, and this is when Donald and Goofy, they couldn't proceed with me, so I had to fight him with my own strength, 1v1, and it was ridiculous. And I got really close a couple times, but I just couldn't beat him. years later, fast forwarding into like a couple years ago when I first met these gentlemen here, find out that those trophies that I was collecting weren't trophies. No. Those were Keyblades with better stats. So you're telling me that I went through the entire game with the original Keyblade, not realizing that I can switch it out.
And you didn't once realize when looking at it, goes, oh, this has a +5 attack stat. That's weird for a trophy.
I thought it was so weird. I thought it was so strange. And it was just like
Oh my God.
I think even one time I even tried to switch it out and I just didn't.
What are we gonna do with you?
Hey, I'm older now, I'm wiser now, I'm ready to go back to it. I got the collection, I'm ready to go. But so with that being said, I never got past Kingdom Hearts 1 effectively and efficiently, so I don't really know a lot of the story after 1, but I mean, like I said, I have all of the Kingdom Hearts now. I'm gonna let it give it a go.
Oh, give it a go, man. I'll probably play along with you just to bring back some old memories.
Yeah, I'll stick it in. I'll put mine in my PS5 and give it a go.
There you go.
It's so much fun. Even if you don't do all of the side mission stuff, but I enjoyed the side mission stuff. Just kind of off a little side ring here, guys. Each world that they put out there has like some side mission things, some extra content that, in my opinion, just kind of helps make it really worthwhile. They did a really good job with the story writing for the whole series and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people kind of crapped on the ending for 3 and all, which to be honest, it seems to be kind of a slight trend after a 3-part game series is have a shitty ending-ish in a way, but then have a DLC come in to fix it at the end.
Or attempt to fix it.
Which I haven't played that one yet because I fortunately have caught a case of 9-ballitis and gotten distracted by other games. So I may cure that and go back and play that one. But it's a really good series, and for anyone who's looking to get their kids into a form of gaming, Kingdom Hearts is definitely a good game to go about. It's got violence, but it's cartoon violence. It's got a really good story, good for learning RPG elements, in my opinion, because it's not extremely heavy on it, but it's got some good points to it too. So it's a lot of fun. And for those who are looking for an in-depth RPG that's really cool and all, it's fun. It's got some really good depth to it, especially if you go hard into the underside of the story and all, and more into the extra bosses that are there. But yeah, also, if your kids love Disney, it's fun. You got Goofy and Donald in there just having a good old time. Nothing better than that.
Yep. And on top of that, you'll be able to encounter more Disney characters throughout the game, too, as well, going to different worlds and everything like that. Peter Pan, Aladdin, a friggin' Ariel and all of them. So yeah,
Sleeping Beauty, you got that.
Hercules.
I mean, that's just the first game. You got 3 other games out there with stuff coming in, and they upgrade it, and there's it's all sorts of fun. So if you're looking for something for the kids to play, it's really cute, quiet, but it has a good amount of story content to keep them busy and interested. Give Kingdom Hearts a try.
And also, if you guys are looking for that remedy, if you guys get 9-ballitis, make sure you guys go to repsports.com, type in ALWT Game at checkout, get 50% off your Raised Energy drinks. That'll cure you. Right on.
When did that become a disease? Thanks.
Story number 2. Strangers of Paradise moving up in the ranks. This is coming from Eddie Mackett from GameSpot. Before I dive inside the story, I do want to say that I played the first trial. It was a solo trial. There were some odd, I'll talk about that in a minute. Let's go ahead and go to the story. Team Ninja's new Final Fantasy game, Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, will launch in March 2022. Square Enix announced during the Tokyo Game Show, TGS for short, live stream that the game will arrive on March 18th for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X/S, as well as PS4 and Xbox One. Additionally, a second demo was announced. It is out right now. The demo will be available until October 11th, and Square Enix will send a survey to participants asking for their feedback. I participated in the first one, by the way. GameSpot's Phil Hornshaw played the second demo and wrote the extensive job system that gives you a ton of tactical combat options. Quote, my impression for the second demo of Strangers of Paradise is that its combat and systems are fun to play with an interestingly responsive, building a uniquely Final Fantasy take on some things that we've seen from other big action games like Neo, end quote. Hornshaw wrote, quote, but there's a lot of parse here. and can get confusing. That said, this spin on Final Fantasy mechanics and combat is a fascinating one, and I enjoyed pummeling my way through the enemies and tough bosses. It's a Final Fantasy game where it feels like strategic choices are just as important as your quick reflexes in combat. And while everything you know about Final Fantasy makes Stranger of Paradise feel familiar, there's a lot more going on under the surface of what we've seen so far in story. Well, first and foremost, let me ask, do either one of you guys have Strangers of Paradise downloaded on your console right now?
No.
No.
Yeah, I went ahead and just threw the demo on there. I'll try and get to here eventually.
Okay.
Just trying to cure myself of my 9-ballitis.
Yeah, so like I said, so
we
me,
love you, 9-ball.
I know.
So Gravity
At least
and
it's
I,
not Ohio, Ohio. I just was like,
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Or not saying, I should say. I will say, like, me and Gravity, we went ahead and tried out the first trial. I beat Chaos, he did not. That was a single player one. He got the Chaos and he got to the second stage, but every single time he would try to take on Chaos, he just kept on getting whooped and killed. And it is one of those games that if you end up getting down, even if you do have potions, you can't be picked up by the AI. However, if your AI gets knocked down, you can go ahead and pick them up, but it's going to cost you a potion.
So it's sort of like 13 in a way, to where, like, the team leader, like, you play as the leader, the leader goes down, you're down.
Exactly, yeah. It's just like that. But the second trial bode a little differently. And what it was is that in the second trial, me and Gravity played together. We got the Chaos, and this time I beat Chaos for the second time, and he beat Chaos for the first time. But there was extensive story afterwards, because then you were able to do a whole other chapter after that. So now that we haven't started yet, but it is very interesting to see how this game is going. In the second one, if he got knocked down, I can pick him up. If I got knocked down, he can pick me up. But if we both got knocked down, our third player, which is an AI, can't pick us up. Now, what was kind of unique was that now it looks like they've been taking the feedback, because one of the things that people had complained about was not having a Phoenix down in a Final Fantasy game. They implemented that in the second trial. So you have an X amount of Phoenix downs that's actually shared amongst your group. And
I thought to ask about the Phoenix Downs.
Yeah, and so they do have a Phoenix down inside the second trial, which was actually really nice. And it definitely allows you to have more strategy there. They introduced new jobs to where there's one where you can be like a blade, like a duelist. So it's like a rogue or like a ninja type. They have another one where you can be like a monk, a pugilist, where you're using your hands and everything like that. And I think there's another one, which I can't remember what that one is. But I tell you, man, when I saw Gravity using that pugilist, I wanted to be the pugilist so bad. Because he was going in like, dude, it looks so sick. It looks so sick. But I was like, well, we have to split it up. We all can't be the same thing, especially when we get the Chaos for a particular reason. So that was definitely interesting that we're able to play the entire first trial and the second and some for the second trial. I also thought it was unique because when you played the first one, when you're walking through, your guy on your left and your guy on your right, Ash and Jed, they're both like super decked out in Final Fantasy gear, but you look like you just came off the streets of New York. Like, it looked really like your attire didn't match. Eventually, you can start. As you start getting more armor, you can add it there, and you can start looking like you belong in the world. But starting off, it did not look correct. It looked really weird.
He was homeless.
That was in the first. That was in the first trial. In the second trial, it got even more weird because not only did your guy look the same, but your guy's name is Jack. Your guy looked the same as you did in the first trial, but then your other two partners looked like that. They looked like they came from New York as well. So, like, you had Ash, who had a tank top, he had a flannel wrapped around his waist, he had black jeans, and he had, like, J's on his feet. So, but he's in this Final Fantasy world. So, like, as they're steering more into that, I'm wondering if this game is an isekai. Literally, like, I wonder if they are from modern world and somehow went through some sort of portal or something like that to where now they're living into a whole other world just because of how they're steering into this. It's a really weird choice, but it does have me more curious as to what the story is going to be now. So, yeah.
Do you think it's an isekai, or do you think it could be something where it's along the lines of, they're in a future of their world, but then they somehow get pulled to a past of their world?
I think it's an isekai for one simple reason. It's Square Enix, and Square Enix is already having a Luminous production game that's coming out at the beginning of the next year as well. That's an isekai, and that's Forspoken. So I think the term isekai has been floating around in some departments of Square Enix where they wanted to have two different versions, a Souls-like and one that's like an adventure type.
Well, I have been seeing more animes coming out that are more isekai like Restaurant to Another World. They've actually got an isekai quartet anime out that's kind of combines a lot of people like Overlords and some other animes together and all. I just feel like I've been hearing more of the isekai in that genre, and so I'm wondering if they've been hearing it too, and they're like, you know what, let's pick up on that.
Yeah, and that's very well, that could be it, but at the same time, in the anime genre, that's been around for a while. Sword Art Online is an isekai. You know what I mean?
Basically, isekai has been around since Hack Sign.
Yeah.
Well, Hack Sign and Sword Art, I could definitely agree with an isekai, but I could also say to where it's not really a true isekai because it's a virtual world you're getting involved in.
You can come back out and everything.
Exactly. Isekai is more of like you get pulled to another world, like the Rise of the Shield.
Vision of Escaflowne.
Escaflowne, Ray Earth is another one.
That's how the reincarnated as a slime. Rising of the Shield Hero.
Yeah. That one. Their isekai's been around, but I feel like it's now becoming more prominent. Versus, I think it's becoming a bit more of a popular theme right now. So, I said, I'm just curious if they're just kind of playing off of that. If they've gotten that hint. But that's why I asked the question if you thought it was true isekai, or because it's Final Fantasy world, if it's something where they're pulling a past present lore tense with the game.
And you could.
It'd be interesting to see if they do an isekai. What are they going to pull in with that isekai? Because isekai is evolving one world transferred to another. So I'm kind of curious now.
Yeah,
what that story is.
Yeah, I'm very curious too as well. And the only reason why I'm thinking it's going to be just a true isekai is just for the same statement that I said before. It's just because they do have Forspoken that's coming out around the same time period. I think they're really. Because I personally never seen this in a video game, at least not to this degree. This is. I mean, of course you have Digimon, the Digimon games, which that one is isekai, but but at the same time that is the Digimon world, so you don't really think of it this way. This is like a whole original story for both. Because every Final Fantasy is different, and then Forspoken, we never heard of Forspoken before, but it looks fantastic. And I think that they're building something here in Square Enix that is very different and uniquely. And I won't be surprised if you're right. It might just be something that's just like they're playing with it, or if it's going to be a true isekai. I really don't know, but whatever it is, like this. After playing the multiplayer of replaying the multiplayer of Trial 1, and I'm ready to play Trial 2. But after replaying it with Trial 1, it's more higher up on my list to get than it was before. I was already drawn in because it's Final Fantasy, so I was already in because of that. But then when I saw the trailer, it kind of set me back a little bit. I was like, I don't know. But then I played the first trailer. I was like, all right, there's potential here. I'm not really the hugest Souls person, but I mean, I can I do like Code Vein, I do like Neo and stuff like that. And as long as the multiplayer co-oping is easy to get into, then I'm more into it than I am out of it. But then after this last trial, like I said, it's getting up there. It's where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get it at launch probably because of when it's coming out. There's so many games already that's at launch at that time period that I want to get, and that's including Seafood, that's including Horizon Forbidden West, that's including all these different types of games that's coming at the Saints Row, all of that's happening at the beginning portion of next year. So we'll have to see. The
question is, what will really come out?
That is true. That is true. But in a perfect world, say that they all do come out, then I have to pick and choose what's going to be first. Horizon Forbidden West is for sure up there.
I was about to say you better pick the Horizon.
Sifu is for sure up there. And then Saints Row is for sure up there. All the rest is pending, if I'm depending on how I'm going to get them and how financials look at that time and everything. But yeah, so with you guys, I know neither one of you guys have played it. I know Mildew Carrot has it downloaded, but what does this do for you guys as far as Strangers of Paradise? Does this interest you a little bit more? Are you guys going to be partaking in the demo in the next 6 days? In the next 6 days. What's up?
I'm definitely going to be partaking in the demo because I do like myself good Soul games. So I'll definitely check it out and see what it's about, what it's like. Then we'll go from there. But I definitely kind of agree. Even though the demo might play nicely, I want to see a bit more into it with more story, because that's really what's kind of going to sell me on is like what is the depth of the story, like what are you doing in a way. But the fact that it's got multiplayer is a good thing. Because I find a lot of these Souls games are, you can play them by yourself solo, but they're a lot of fun with your friends. Yeah. So, I'll give the demo a try, and we'll just go from there and see how we go from that point.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Like the amount of fun that I have with Gravity recently on this demo trial for multiplayer. I feel like that type of fun is what you guys have when you guys play a Souls or Bloodborne or something. It felt pretty fun. I was like, okay, I'm digging this. I'm digging this camaraderie. I love how they do the spells. It is complicated a little bit, and it takes some getting used to. So I don't want to expect it to be easy because it is a Souls-like, but it is like really cool when you figure out certain mechanics of how to beat chaos and everything like that. So, but Nineball, what does this do for you?
Not too much for me personally. I mean, yeah, it looks interesting, but it's just, I don't know. It never caught me from the beginning, and it's I'll probably have to give it a shot. Maybe it'll go better from that way, but for me personally, it's just for some reason it just doesn't catch on.
I feel it. And it's not going to be for everybody. It's not going to be for everybody. So I understand. I didn't think it was going to be for me either, to be completely honest with you. I was in because of the name. I looked at it, didn't think it was going to be for me. But now I'm more like, okay, there's something here. There's something here. Going on over to story number 3. PlayStation beta testing trials in United Kingdom, in the UK. Vicky Blake from Games Radar says, Sony is offering free trials for 2 PS5 games. That's Death Stranding Director's Cut and Sackboy A Big Adventure. Right now it looks as though the free samples are only available in UK, and the amount of time you'll get depends upon which game you fancy. Sackboy reportedly offers 5 hours of gameplay, whereas Death Stranding offers 6. As I own both games, unfortunately, I can't double check this for you. As Eurogamer points out, however, there's a really cruel twist here, as your timer isn't limited to the time that you spent in the game, but begins the moment you select the download trial. This means if it takes you 2.5 hours to download Sackboy A Big Adventure, you only have just 2.5 hours to play it. Curiously, you can apparently only try one trial per PSN account too, which means you have to choose between which games tickles your interest more, as you're not able to sample both games. Both PS4 versions cannot be sampled either. End quote. So and then again, this is where I wanted to come into, and this is where I made the comment to where some good news, but some odd decisions here. But then as I'm reading it a little bit more, I don't know how UK's internet is. I'm assuming theirs is better than ours. With that being said, I don't think it's going to take you, especially if you have a PS5, I don't see it taking you 2.5 hours to download a game. But I do think it is ridiculous that your time starts the minute you download the game. I don't think that's something that should be implemented at all. I do think that this is a beta, so before this decides to hit worldwide, I can see that being something that's just like, hey, this is going to be in-game stuff. So right now, I'm not holding up anything against them until it goes worldwide, and then we can take a look at the stuff there. I understand them choosing only one game, because again, these are brand new games. These are director's cut for Death Stranding and Sackboy Big Adventures was just launched at the end of last year. So I get why they were just like, hey, you want to try this game or do you want to try this game? And they're giving you more time on Death Stranding because that's more story driven, as Sackboy Big Adventure is more platformer. So I understand all that, but the thing that seems really peculiar right now for me, if they stick with it out of trial, out of beta, is this whole, hey, you can try this game, but the timer starts the minute you hit download. That'll be some BS right there. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I have a problem.
Talk to me.
For starters, 5 to 6 hours on Death Stranding. You won't beat the game in 5 to 6 hours on Death Stranding. And the time it starts, I can see because Death Stranding.
Yeah. Well, first off, that's the thing. They don't want you to beat either one of these games. It's just to check it out, but for free, if you like it, so you can buy it. That's what it is. It's a try before you buy. You're not expected to beat these games.
Let me check one more thing real quick. There you are. So I believe this game is, how big is this game? Because Death Stranding is actually massive.
I believe it. And again, this is the director's cut.
Yeah, it's currently 63 gigs on my PC.
Mm-hmm.
This is the normal Death Stranding.
Right.
So yeah, I can see 2 hours. And if you have real slow internet, you might not even be able to play the game.
I doubt that. But again, this is UK. This is UK, so we're speaking speculatively right now.
If you've got maybe you don't have fastest internet. Maybe you have a family that all uses the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So you might have two, 3 kids. They're all on Facebook, YouTube, downloading their game. You try and download your game. You got your wife watching YouTube, and you got one kid watching Netflix. Because trust me, this happens. Netflix downstairs, and you what is that? Amazon upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
That could bog down your internet pretty long. And like I said, a 63 gigabyte download, that could easily take, if it's bogged down, it could take 3 to 4 hours, leaving you maybe less than 2 hours to even play the game. And if your internet sometimes as slow as mine, you won't even get to touch the game.
See, yeah, I obviously, ultimately, my thoughts and your thoughts. Regardless, it's a problem if this is how it's going to be outside of trial, outside of beta. If this hits worldwide and they're like, hey, the minute that you hit download, even if it's 10 minutes that it takes you to download the game, that's 10 minutes of you not being able to play that game. They're kind of robbing you of that. So I agree with you. It's not ideal, but I honestly, as corporately, I don't see anybody having 6 hours to download a game.
Trust me, it can. I sometimes on some of the games I did, it took me that long, and that's games are getting bigger and bigger. Look at Call of Duty Warzone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's say they gave you 6 hours to download that.
Yeah, I could do it.
How long would you be able to play it?
How long will you be able to play it? So if I was on my PS4, be able to play, if it's at this time period, I would be able to play at least 4 hours of it. If I'm on my PS5, I can play almost the entire 6.
So you'll be able to download an almost 200 gigabyte download instantaneously.
I could do it within definitely within 30 minutes, maybe even less on my PS5. 100%. Yeah,
but like I'm saying, not everybody like me. I don't have access. There's a lot of people out there that don't have access to just ultra fast internet. It's just not in the cards. Mm-hmm. So you take what you can get, and you won't be able to use the demo. Period. It's just a waste. I really feel like it should start the minute you play the game, like most things do.
I agree.
You download the game, then you are able to play the game as soon as. Then the minute you start the game, your 6 hours starts.
I agree. I 1,000% agree with you on that, and that's what I was saying before. if this is what they're rolling out corporately, then and it's going to be like the minute you hit download, that is messed up. I will think that if they do that worldwide, that's something that should not happen, and shame on you, Sony. But again, I know that this is right now in beta. This is possibly something that was overlooked. Not really too sure, but
I don't see how they overlooked that. Number 2, life happens.
Yep.
I mean, you can start downloading the game, and little Timmy decides to play Rocket Man on the top step, and now you got to run him to the hospital.
Mm.
Now you're gonna spend the rest of the day at the hospital. You get home, and now you can't play the game.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, you're not wrong about that. So it'll be very interesting to see how Sony tackles this obstacle, if you will, if they decide to make this worldwide. Because right now, I think they're just trying to see if they even want to pursue this with their PS5 titles.
Yeah, why does it have to be Death Stranding?
Why does that have to be Sackboy Big Adventure?
Sackboy makes sense. Sackboy makes sense. Sackboy makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's more of a PlayStation launch title. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think they just. I think they were just trying to do something that's like it's a multiplayer, kids friendly, and then another one that's more like story driven.
You won't even get the story in the first 5 or 6 hours.
What for? Is Death Stranding?
Yeah.
Well, even so, they're trying it for free.
It is all kinds of weird.
Mildew Carrot, do you have any? I know. Me and Nine Ball were kind of boxing a little bit. Do you have any commentary on this at all?
Round 1 over. Set for round 2. No, I mean, you guys pretty much said it. Pretty much said everything I had to say about it too. It was just like, it makes no sense to start the timer as soon as the download begins.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's just weird. So, no, yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with everything you guys say, 100%. Definitely with the timer, starting that download. Definitely with Nine Ball and the internet connections. Life happens too.
Yep.
And my biggest question is what happens when you're in the middle of a download and all of a sudden your internet goes out, but then you pull it back up. Is it over? Does it keep going? Do you have to re-download? How's the restart on that? Does it just pick up where it left off? Do you have to uninstall, reinstall? I'm hoping not, because it's 5th gen console and the newer age, but you don't know. So
100%.
No idea what they're doing here. I really don't know what they're doing. It's a test of something.
Yeah.
Something.
That's the only thing I can really say right now is that it is a test. Technically, they don't really have to do this. It's a nice feature to have, but it is something that they're kind of going about it in a unique way, and it is something that's just like, did you think that one through? If they rule it out worldwide and it still has that, hey, the minute you hit download, then yeah, they 100% dropped the ball on that one.
Tim from accounting, they can sit him back down. Just put your hand down. Put your hand after that last letter. Put it down. Don't even look in the direction.
Do you have a question, or are you just going with the bit? Going on to story number 4, actually, with Mildewy's prediction here. Sony acquires Bluepoint. It didn't take place at the PS5 event, but it did take place a couple weeks afterwards. So
you think they're gonna let that slip through their fingers?
Of course
That's
not.
what Microsoft's doing?
Of course
Hell
not.
no.
Sony acquires Bluepoint. So on here, Eddie Mackey from GameSpot. Like I said, it's Eddie and Jason Day. Sony has acquired yet another game development studio, bringing on Bluepoint Games to become the company's latest internal game developer. Bluepoint most recently developed Demon's Souls remake for PlayStation 5. The studio has also developed the PS4 remake of Shadow of the Colossus and has a history with Uncharted and the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection. Quote, Bluepoint has built a name for itself by creating some of the highest quality remasters and remakes in the industry, end quote. PlayStation boss Herman Hulse said. Quote, With each of its projects, Bluepoint has raised the bar on a console-defining visuals and gameplay, and the studio's vast expertise in the world building and character creation will be a huge plus for the future PlayStation Studio properties and story. I do want to. I wanted to say that because I know that actually right now. First off, congratulations to Bluepoint. I think that they are doing some really good stuff there in the industry, especially on the PlayStation front. I don't think that Bluepoint has made any other games for other consoles. I could be wrong about that. I think they've only made PlayStation stuff, but I could be wrong.
Look to me, sure.
Cool. But I am excited to see what their next project is, because their next project is not a remake. It's not,
I know what it is.
It's not.
Starts with an S.
It's not.
Starts with a silent.
It's not Silent Hill. It's not Silent Hill. But actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull that up because that cycled the internet today on GameSpot with Konami. That actually cycled up just recently. So I'm gonna pull that up here.
Yeah, they did one PlayStation game, one Xbox game.
What is that?
Titanfall.
Oh,
they did the port.
Yeah, you talking about the one where Sony allegedly is funding Kojami Productions for Silent Hill game?
Yeah, I think that was it.
Yep. There's also there's one about where Metal Gear, Silent Hill, and Castlevania could return in 2022 allegedly.
Yes. I think actually that was the one they were talking about.
Castlevania's been re-releasing all their games. Me and another friend talking about that at work the other day.
Mm-hmm.
They have been re-releasing everything is coming back out from Castlevania. So I'm not surprised there.
Yeah, me neither. I am curious to see what their next project is going to be for Bluepoint, because it sounds like it's going to be a whole original IP from the ground up. It's not going to be a remaster of any kind or anything like that. But I know for you guys would be happy if it's Silent Hill. I know for others would be happy if it's Metal Gear Solid.
For everybody, it'd be happy if it's Metal Gear Solid.
But yeah,
that franchise is cult. Out the door cult.
Yeah.
But I am very excited to see what they're going to do, and with now Sony fully acquiring them, they'll be able to feed even more inside the haptic feedback stuff, the DualSense, and what the PS5 can do. So I'm very curious to see what they're going to end up doing and what they make. Yeah. I know this is really a huge shock. I know that we've been kind of anticipating this, but does anyone have any other commentary for the Sony acquisition on Bluepoint?
I'm totally surprised. I didn't see that coming.
I was actually looking around again. Apparently, there's also some news saying that it's actually just a false rumor going around.
For what?
Some about the Silent Hill thing.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here.
It's going to happen. Don't.
As game analyst and leaker, Million Man responded to a follower on Twitter regarding the Silent Hill news, saying they asked if the Silent Hill game is being developed by Kojima and Sony, and they responded no. Which I'm like, okay. Has notably shared a variety of PlayStation-adjacent news in recent months. For example, several Bluepoint's ongoing projects, confirming Metal Gear is not one of them.
Yeah, and that I know I know Kojima and Konami just don't have a good relationship for whatever reason. I don't know the whole backstory behind it. I just know that Kojima and Konami just are not seeing eye to eye, or whoever it is that's head of Konami or whatever.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah,
it didn't go well at all.
So we'll have to see what that looks like in the later years. But I know that that's something that people definitely want is another Metal Gear Solid. I know people want another Silent Hill and everything like that.
We want them to bring back the Silent Hill. They originally had the demo trailer out for that looked amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, because I know that was a thing. I know that that really excited a lot of people.
Stoked, and then next thing they're like, "Oh no, it's dead." I'm like, "Why?"
Yeah, and I think is that when it first started, like that whole little butting heads with Kojima and Konami?
Yeah. And that's when they finally left. It also happened in between the Metal Gear Solid 5. I want to say it affected the Phantom Pain.
I never played the Metal Gears. I never followed them too much, but I definitely watched some Silent Hill things. But yeah, it's like as soon as you heard some scuffles and all. Then all of a sudden, this dropped. I'm like, no, don't leave us.
You were so close.
And they left us. They're just like, nope, don't
I
care.
I did. I got like Metal Gear now. All those games on my PC now. But I played Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2. I wanted to play Metal Gear Solid 4 because I know it's on the PlayStation now, but I think it's only streaming.
If it's a PS3 game, then yes, it'll be only streaming.
Yeah, it's a PS3 game.
Yeah, so with that, you can only stream it.
I wanted to play that. That's one of the ones I missed was the Guns of the Patriots.
So, does anyone have any, before we go on over to story number 5, does anyone have any predictions of what they might think that the next Blue Point project will be? Like, obviously, it's going to be a brand new IP. It's probably something that we never heard of before. But what genre do you guys think that this will be in?
Metal Gear Solid. I'm just kidding. I'm looking at the
FPS, or
yeah. I'm thinking it's gonna be more of a shooter. It looks like most of their MMOs.
Okay.
I mean,
Last
I'd be
Actor
surprised.
God of War collection, Ico. They did the Metal Gear Solid HD collection.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess shooter, or maybe like an action adventure style one, maybe.
Yeah,
But I don't think they're gonna go like horror based, or even they may go like suspense with a bit of thriller, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But that's you get normally that with depending upon
the
how
time
you play
Blue Point is
some
roughly
games.
70.
So I think more straight shooters.
Says Blue Point has 70 workers working on a unique game. Trying to see if I can get anything from it.
Okay. I'm thinking, to be honest with you, I think I'm going to take a little different route than what you guys are saying. You guys are saying FPS. I think it's going to be more of the medieval. I don't think it's going to be a hack and slash. It might be real time, but I think they might be going a little bit more the medieval route. Almost not exactly a Souls-like, but I don't know.
Are you thinking true medieval, like historical, or are you thinking fantasy, like fantasy style medieval in their own created universe?
I think it'll be fantasy style medieval own creator universe. Not exactly Horizon, but I think it might be along the same battle formula, but not obviously not tech or anything like that.
Interesting.
That's what I think. I think it will be something more along the lines like that, almost like a Final Fantasy VII-esque setup. Final Fantasy VII remake, I should say, or like 15 or something like that. I don't think it's going to be a true hack and slash, but I don't think it's going to be anything that's like Souls-like either. So
It may be like Souls like.
we'll see. I mean, because again, it looks like they have quite a few other stuff under their belt.
Yeah,
So-
I'm also looking at their I'm looking at job postings they have up.
Yeah, and offline, me and Mildred has spoke a little bit about that.
Yeah, they got like environmental artist stuff that's up, which kind of leads precedence a little bit to. I mean, it can go to any of us, to any of our things, because environments are needed for any type of game.
Right.
But with that aspect that they need full environmental artists, I didn't look too much into like what the details were, but it could determine if they're going to go for a full open world type game, or if they're going for just a standard, just base environment that you run through. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if they have an
combat
Elden. I wouldn't be
design.
surprised if they have an Elden Ring equivalent. That'd be kind of cool.
I mean, you've been seeing that too, but it's like I feel like a lot of the games people are tending to go to now kind of have like a back to like the storyline, which is like a slight open world, but not full open world,
Right.
aspect. But me personally, I do love the full open world stuff. So, that's always a plus on my book if you do that. So, we'll have to wait and see until they give us news. Right now, as we told everyone, we're kind of just speculating, shooting the gun and all, just trying to, trying to think of what we think that they're going to do. When we could all be wrong. They could be making the next Bug Snacks 2 for all we know.
They could be making the next Super Smash Brothers. You know what I mean? Make a
They
fight
might
or
be
something.
making the next Metal Gear Solid.
Story number 5 that we have here
Surprised he's
is
going off of Metal Gear Solid, not Silent Hill.
what we have here is a next.
Because I already know it's coming out. I already know that.
What, Silent Hill?
Just like Final Fantasy 16, right?
It is coming out. You should. That's confirmed. That's confirmed. You jerk. Story number 5. Jeff Keighley's Game Awards. Jason Finelli from GameSpot had mentioned this inside the story for GameSpot. The Game Awards, the annual hybrid year-end award show and world premiere showcase, has been confirmed for December 9th by the show creators and host, Jeff Keighley. Let me take a look at this. I'm going to pause real fast the story. Take a look at what that day is. December 9th is a Thursday. That's a Thursday.
On a Thursday.
Yeah. So Jeff Keighley. The show will return to the Microsoft Theater in Los Angeles, California, as a live in-person event for the first time since 2009 or since COVID-19 pandemic began. The show will also be available on over 40 live stream services around the world, and hoping to build on last year's record-setting 83 million live streams. This is Jeff's tweet. 10 weeks from tonight, December 9th, will be the live stage at the Game Awards at Microsoft Theater in LA. Excited to be back to our full-scale show. That means the Game Awards orchestra live on stage once again, conducted by Lauren Baffle. Much more to share in the weeks ahead. End tweet. So going back to the quote. We are very excited to return to Microsoft Theater for a special night to celebrate the past, present, and future of video games, Keighley said in the official release. Our goal is to bring the entire community together to celebrate the most powerful form of entertainment in the world and recognize emerging voices that represent the future of the medium. End story. So, I wanted to throw that in there for one, make us aware that in literally about 2 months, we have the Game Awards that's coming back again. But I also wanted to make any predictions here. What do we predict is going to be at... You know what? Let me go ahead and pull that up. We're gonna make some full-fledged predictions here. What are we going to predict that's going to be at the Game Awards that we're going to see?
You gotta really ask me this question.
Yep.
Okay.
Can we put a pin on this and ask us next week? Because pulling stuff out of my ass hurts, man.
Yeah. We'll do that. We're gonna put a pin on this.
I got 2 ideas.
Yeah.
I got 1 or 2 maybe. I gotta think. You asking me to think.
Oh, I ain't gotta think. I already mentioned one of them. One of them starts with an S and one starts with an M.
You're holding on to that for dear life, man.
It's gonna be the award for the game that's most like game.
You know what, Nineball? If that comes true, you just win. You just win all the predictions. Okay? If they actually announce a Silent Hill or a Metal Gear Solid at the Game Awards, either one, you just win, okay?
By the way, right after, just to get started off with, before we get to the Game of the Year, we're going to announce Metal Gear Solid and Silent Hill.
Just for Nineball.
I'm just taking the headset off, stepping up, and just walking away. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm going to do.
That is insane, man. Yeah.
Oh.
There's one that I'm going to say, and I'm going to lock this in as my prediction. You guys can have this as your predictions if you want to or not. But there's one that's been rumored around, and I think I'm gonna have it there as my Gatorade get hype moment. Microsoft announces that it is real for the Power Rangers open world game. It's gonna be an Xbox exclusive, and it will launch some point 2023, 2024. That's my prediction.
I did hear about that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about that one.
Yeah.
Like, I just was like... No, we're talking about Game Awards. I thought this was like, let's say, like, what do we think is going to be the next game? Or, like, what can be, like, the top-rated game of the year or something?
Oh, no. Not that. That I was going to do, like, closer when we get closer to the Game Awards, and all the games have been out, for the most part.
Is that what's coming out for the 9th? Yeah, that's what this is about. I'm confused.
Because, I think the only games that's not going to hit by the 9th would be... The only game I can think of off the top of my head that's big would be Halo Infinite. That'd be the only game I could think of that won't hit before the Game Awards.
And they don't count games that haven't hit yet, right?
No, they keep those. They don't count games that had hit. So for Halo Infinite, since that's going to happen afterwards, that can be in discussion for game of the year for 2022.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, you can definitely bet that's going to be game of the year for 2022.
Yeah. Now they will do ratings for like games that haven't come out yet. Like they'll be like, what are your most hyped games of the year? So like games that's like Saints Row and Horizon Forbidden West, they could be up for nominations for those awards for game of the year for that. But that's going to be like, that's not actually game of the year. That's just like the most hype. But as far as actual game of the years, yeah, Halo Infinite more than likely won't be out for. Like, that will be in contender for 2022 Game of the Years. So, but no, I just, that's one thing I think is going to be at the Game Awards. I think they're going to announce officially, just because it has been leaked, as far as rumors. The rumors have been going out there that saying, like, hey, valued sources, all that stuff. It's going to be at the Jeff Keighley's Game Awards show in 2021. Bank on it. Power Rangers open world game, Xbox exclusive. I think it's going to launch it. Now this part is just me guesstimating. I think it's going to launch in 2023, 2024. That's my prediction for that.
I would definitely want to see how they're going to announce that and how they would do it for Power Rangers. Is it going to be like a Spider-Man where you just go around and you get random invasions of like whoever, like whatever zone it is? And now another question would be is like, did they confirm is it the original Power Rangers?
It would be the original, yeah.
It's got to be Angel Grove or Rita Repulsa.
So then you got the
Godar is on 5th Street.
Well, I think that's how you would do it. Actually, I think you would bring out, because Power Rangers, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was a show first before it was even a Nintendo game. I think it was a show first.
Yeah.
So why not bring out the actors? They're still alive. Bring out some of the actors and bring it out there.
Except for the Yellow Ranger.
Was she not alive?
No, Trini died in a car accident.
Oh, I honestly didn't know that.
I did not know that, but
I didn't know that either until I watched them over there. Talking about 5 people you probably didn't know was dead, and then they mentioned that.
Yeah, I didn't know
Trini had died. I was like, whoa, I didn't know Trini died.
One thing that I didn't know for the longest time, the Black Ranger, he actually like is missing like 2 of his fingers. I didn't know that until I started following him on Instagram actually. And I see a couple posts where he doesn't have 2 of his fingers. It's like 1 or 2 of his fingers. I don't know what happened. You have to look that up. But yeah, I don't know what happened. I just know that he's missing 2 of his fingers.
And I think the Pink Ranger was on NCIS, one of those shows.
I believe it. But I know that well, that's why you don't get them to do it. You get the one and only Tommy. You get the Green Ranger to come out there and introduce, or White Ranger, I should say. But you get the Green Ranger / White Ranger to come out there and be like, "Hey."
And you got to go with the original cast because nobody wants to see Animal Ninja Strike or Animal Force, whatever the heck the other ones were.
Dino Strike and I wouldn't mind Ninja. I wouldn't mind having the Ninja one, and I wouldn't mind having Turbo. Outside of that, I think all the other Ninja Power Rangers are a little ridiculous. But yeah, I wouldn't mind the Ninja one, and because they even kind of steered into the Ninja one in the originals. Like at the end when they had the movie, they were all wearing the Ninja stuff. I'll be fine with that. I'll be fine with the Ninja.
And I remember the movie you're talking about. It was actually it was actually a really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
If they do this open world thing, like with it, the only thing I want to say is and this is just me throwing some random shit out there, and this will age date me if anything. I want to see them throw in like a cameo with Big Bad Beetleborgs in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, dude. Yes, we here. I would love that. What if that's a costume inside this open world game?
I would
love it.
Yeah, I know one of the newer ones actually did a crossover with the Masked Rider.
Dude,
I think they even did a crossover.
So good.
I might be off on this. But I think they actually did a crossover with Ninja Turtles at one point. I think it was like the movie style Ninja Turtles. I can't remember.
The Power
Rangers, yeah.
Come out the 90s movie
Ninja
Turtles?
Yeah, I think it was literally like the 90s movie Ninja Turtles, and I think they brought them inside an episode.
That was good till I got older. Did I watch that?
Yeah, my mind's
There was an episode they did do a Power Rangers crossover. It was apparently called Always a Chance.
with the Ninja Turtles.
No, it was just with all the other Power Rangers, like all the different versions of them.
Yeah, I do remember that, and I could have sworn there's one others as well. With one more with the freaking
Trying to look
Ninja
here.
Turtles.
There's Thunderstorm with Dino Storm, History, SPD, Lightspeed Rescue, Wild Force with, I don't know. Let's see here. Power Pink Lost Galaxy.
Yeah. So it's right here. Shell Shocked. I'm looking at it right now. It's Shell Shocked. It was. Let me see.
What is Lost Galaxy? Is that one?
I'm actually gonna throw this inside the. I'm gonna
You're
throw
better
this.
than I am. The kids used to watch that.
Oh, that's why it's Turbo. It wasn't the original. It was Turbo.
The Turbo.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about Turbo.
I'm throwing it in here. Turbo was cool. That was fine.
I mean, Turbo was okay.
I wasn't a huge fan. I wasn't a huge fan.
I mean, I
just
love the original Power Rangers when I was younger, especially. Like I've watched some here and there, and like I kind of want to go back and find some just to watch it and just regain some childhood aspects. But I definitely will say I went back and watched Big Bad Billboards again, which is it's old but it's good. I loved it.
So
how about VR Troopers?
So I'm not sure.
Yeah, I remember that one. Oh man,
This TV Samurai Cyber Squad.
So I just threw it inside. I threw it inside the Discord. I actually just threw two of them. There's one that's to the actual Google leak. I just went ahead and thrown up.
I could make a Smite meme out of this.
but there's another
they've
one.
already got like the Satan
Mulan skin.
Mulan skin on there. They're already hinting at it. Come on.
But yeah, so if you guys check that out inside Discord, so it actually says Power Rangers Space. So I didn't know if there was a difference between Turbo and Space. I guess
it might be Lost Galaxy, maybe. Like they've got so many.
They really do.
Yeah,
they really
it's
do.
like 8 bazillion of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shell Shocked is that's Turbo Force for sure.
Well, yeah, I thought it was Turbo, but when I looked at the logo, it says Power Rangers Space. That's what it said.
Well, Turbo Force kind of was in space.
Yeah, it was
Wait,
weird.
so they had their own spaceship and all where they.
Yeah.
If I remember right, I think they did.
Ultimately, going back to the Game Awards, I think it'll be awesome. It'll be awesome if they decide to have a Power Rangers open world game. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Back from the past.
Yeah. Does anyone have any? Well, actually, we'll save that for next week. So predictions, we'll have that. So we have a full week to think about what we believe is going to happen at the Game Awards with Jeff Keighley and what we'll see. I won't be surprised if we see some more Fall Guy Ultimate stuff because he loves Fall Guy Ultimate. And lastly, this is the story right here that was breaking earlier today. If you guys are watching Kind of Funny Games Daily, we're just going to talk about it just a little bit. I think out of the three of us, I'm probably the only person that's more the Ghost Recon guy. So on here, Ubisoft's success or downfall. Eddie Mackett from GameSpot says Ubisoft will announce a new Ghost Recon project of some kind during the 20th anniversary event scheduled for later today, October 5th. So it's probably already been happened by now. Update, the stream is over. Oh, there it is. The update, the stream is over, and the big news is precisely what leaked a new game called Ghost Recon Frontline. The anniversary showcase, is, as it's called, will celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Ghost Recon series. The event will feature special guests who will share the anecdotes about the series, while viewers will have the chance to get gifts. Perhaps the most notable part of the stream will be the worldwide event, worldwide reveal of a brand new Ghost Recon project. Ubisoft did not say if this will be a game or something else, but will report back with more information as it becomes available. Leaks have suggested that the game is called Recon Frontlines, but nothing confirmed at this stage, and will be revealed during the showcase, which will start at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. You can watch through the video above, and that's on GameSpot. You guys can check that out. But obviously, we're on the Eastern Standard Time ourselves, it is 7:08. it's safe to say that the video is over, and I believe that's been confirmed that it is a battle royale style Ghost Recon game. I know that
What's all the battle royales?
Yeah.
that's kind of what I was going into. I know that we have our thoughts about some battle royales. Some of them have to be different enough to survive inside this industry. Now that, because at first it was PUBG, then it was H1Z1 was first, then it was PUBG, and then it was Fortnite, and Fortnite just took everything by storm. And then after that, you started seeing more battle royales coming out, such as the Forged by Fire, Warzone, the Forged by Fire or whatever was the Battlefield version of it. You had Warzone, you had Hyperscape, Rain of Fire, yeah. You had Hyperscape, you have Spellbreak, you have Hunter's Arena.
Battlefield had one.
Yeah, that's what I
Ring
said.
of Fire.
Yeah, Ring of Fire.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I was just looking. I'm looking up Ghost Recon now.
Yeah, you're good. So there's just, with that being said, there's just a lot of battle royales that's out, which I'm mixed about. I think if they're different enough, like Hunter's Arena, I think they can be pretty fun and different. So it's just a little change of pace. Same thing for Spellbreak. I feel like that's different enough to coexist with Fortnite and everything like that. But at the same time, when you look at the general genre of battle royale, there's just a ton of them. We just have a lot of them, and it's just flooding. It's almost like that time period years ago when the zombie genre was just flooded. You had Walking Dead, and then after that, almost everything was a zombie game or had some sort of zombie mode in it. So, I don't know. I think this is kind of cool. I think that they could do something here with Ghost Recon, especially if you guys are familiar with Wildlands or anything that's like pretty much Tom Clancy type. But I think that I'm not sure if Battle Royale is the way to go with that. We'll just kind of have to see. And on top of that, Ubisoft did have a Battle Royale already, and that was Hyperscape. That was underneath Ubisoft. And it's just like, now you're shifting from Hyperscape to this, so you might have more of a backing because. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably because they have the backing because of the name brand, like you were gonna say. So sorry, I didn't mean to. Just because it's better known, it's better recognized and liked, so they're like, maybe this will work better, kind of like it did for Warzone.
Right. And I'm kind of wondering. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if, now I haven't spent too much time inside the Dark Zone, but in the Division, is Dark Zone almost like a Battle Royale-esque type? I know it's like survivalist. I know you could team up. I know you could PvP in there. But does that have like any Battle Royale-esque elements to it in Dark Zone?
Not really, no. Dark Zone is where you go in, you will fight, like, it's going to have mobs coming in and out. So you got the standard mobs that you got from the Outer Edge world inside there, but they're higher level. So it's more like an in-game content. Now you can run into other agents in there in PvP fights, and you can do attacks on certain things. So it's more like a multiplayer kind of thing, but not a battle royale type of thing where you got the closing clouds and gas or stuff, whatever in it. It's not like that at all. It's more just, get objectives, get gear, get better stuff, and then try and go towards the final end point that they have hidden at the back end of the Dark Zone for the story of the first one. So it's really not battle royale-esque at all, I would not say.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was just kind of curious because, go ahead.
Because you can also go in and out of it is the other thing. And so you can choose to evac from the Dark Zone willingly. So it's not like you go in, it's like, let's queue you up for a match or anything. No, it's like you walk in and then you go in.
That part I knew. I knew that wasn't like a let's go in. It's not like you queue in or anything like that. But I was wondering if the actual gameplay itself had any battle royale elements to it, or if it was just more of like an openish world within that area. Survival.
It's just a harder survival point with PvP. So it's not like you go in blank and you hunt down weapons to improve yourself. I mean, like, you can kill people and you'll get weapons, but then you have to evac them out, and then you're defending that point, trying to save it. Trying to keep your gear so you can get evac'd out, or it'll get cleaned, and then you can get to use it in the outside world. Because anything you find in the Dark Zone's infected. So
it has to be cleansed.
I really wouldn't say it's a
Battle Royale?
I'd say Battle Royale. No.
Okay. Very interesting. Does anybody else have any other additional comments for the Ubisoft having a Ghost Recon Battle Royale style?
I think it's dead on arrival.
Good luck.
And it could be, because again, Hyperscape was supposed to be this huge thing, and where's Hyperscape at now? I don't hear anybody talking about
Well,
it.
it was also a new IP that they did.
Yeah.
So they're hoping that they bank on the community that's already in the Tom Clancy games. So
Yeah, but it's
Like I
not
said-
made for either, though.
all I just said, like I said, I would just say good luck, because right now, coming at the very back end of this, it's going to be very hard to get into it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I still am kind of curious to see. Okay, because again, we're saturated with battle royales. We all know that.
We're drowning.
There are a couple that still have me be
we can
like.
fit a couple more in the barrel.
There are a couple though that I am like, this is what I wanted in a battle royale. No, my point exactly. In the Rocket Blade Point, Hunter's Arena, I actually do like those as battle royales. They're different enough for me to be like, okay, I like this. All right, let's go ahead and jump on over some Warzone or Fortnite, because they're two entirely different things. There's one game that has yet to come out that I'm still interested in playing with you guys. I played the beta, but I'm interested in playing it with you guys. That game is Blood Hunt. From a vampire perspective, having these different types of abilities, is it going to be very similar to Apex, or is it going to feel like it's its own thing? I played the demo or the beta, and it felt very similar to other battle royales, but at the same time, I didn't give it enough time for me to see what's distinguished differently about it, just because battle royales by myself has never really entirely been my thing. I'm into battle royales with a group of people. If we're in it, we're ready to do it, all that good stuff, win it, get a couple dubs on our belt. That's when I really thrive on battle royales. Outside of doing it with the group, I've never been interested in just jumping in and trying to do solos or duos or anything like that, unless I know the person. So, gentlemen, that does it for ALWT Things Gaming, episode 67 on Twitch and YouTube, and I believe I said 53 for Anchor. Yeah, so we're ending a little early today. I do want to go ahead and give a reminder.
Surprisingly.
I do want to go ahead and give a reminder out there to anybody that's watching right now live or listening on Anchor, to make sure you guys are tuning into our Smite Night segments. For the past 2 weeks, we've been having a little trouble streaming on YouTube and Twitch. Majority of the time, that's fine. But then we get into these weird ifs every so often, to where the streaming is just not there and Twitch will crap out. So then I end up having to turn off the Twitch stream, and then it's just on YouTube. So if you guys are interested in checking that out, make sure you guys are going to youtube.com, type in the ALWT Gaming at checkout. Type in the ALWT Gaming inside the search. And if you guys can't find us that way, type in At Least We Tried Gaming, because at least we tried.
And you know one thing you can check out.
Yeah, you can check out that Raise energy drink.
Yeah.
I won't do it for a third time, because you guys already know to go to repvsports.com, type in LWT Gaming at checkout, and get 50% off. I won't do that to you guys again for a third time. But I do want to give you guys a heads up again. This coming Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is going to be our Smite Night. Next Tuesday, we're back at it like a bad habit with our ALWT Things Gaming, 6 p.m. until 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. However, next Thursday, no stream, nothing going on. So if you guys are looking for us to stream, you guys might have to check out Mildewy Carrot and or It's the Nine Balls personal channels if they decide to stream a game of their choice. But as far as Smite Night, not happening. And then after that, we're back to our normal scheduling with our 9 to 5 segment going to be on October 30th this month, which is going to be a Halloween stream. So we'll take a look at that. Will I try Plasmophobia for the first time? You guys will have to find out on this next episode of Dragon Ball Z. But yeah, so we, again, like I said,
or affiliate with anything with Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Z Incorporated.
again, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Make sure you guys are checking out our social media platforms at Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all of that. Just type in ALWT Gaming. You guys can also check out our content at www.alwtgaming.com. Had any emails to send our way, check us out at leastwetry.gaming@gmail.com. Until next time, everybody, I'm going to play some video games. Control, Alt,
Complete.
peace, love, and hair grease.